Hi there. Now we're going to do lesson 353. My eyes, my tongue, my hands, my feet today have but one purpose: to be given Christ to use to bless the world with miracles. Paragraph 1. Father, I give all that is mine today to Christ to use in any way that best will serve the purpose that I share with him. This is a statement of declaration. I am using my free will to give everything that is mine, my hands, my tongue, my feet. I am going to use my eyes to see only what is loving out there. I'm only going to speak loving words. I am only going to extend love with my hands. I'm going to walk as a being that is walking in peace. I am doing this. Why? Because I now know that I share the same purpose with Christ, and that is to extend the love of God on the planet. When you come to this place in your journey where you know that you no longer want to do work on your own, that you want to have your own independent will, but rather that you want to unite your will, I and the Father are one. God, what will you have me do? And you align with being the presence of love. Of course, you want to then use everything that you have that appears to be yours temporarily in this lifetime in service for the greater good of all, which is in alignment with Christ, which is nothing more than the continuation of the lessons of 2,000 years ago, to help teach that when we come to love our God because we know it's inside of us, then we get to love our neighbors as we learned to love ourselves when we realized that God was inside of us. Sentence number 2. Nothing is mine alone, for he and I have joined in purpose. This is when we accept our oneness, and now you let yourself be informed by God. You let yourself be informed by love. You operate in the world like Peace Pilgrim did back in the 1970s, 1980s. Walked the United States. This woman just walked the United States to be an expression of peace on the planet. She had achieved that level of connection with God, and that was her purpose, was to extend her loving presence wherever she went. Sentence number 3. Thus has learning come almost to its appointed end. There is a day that you stop learning, and all you want to do, because it's all that's left to do, is just to be what you learned you are. You get to be the presence of love. You get to be an example of Christ consciousness in action. You get to align with I and the Father are one. What is there to learn once you're being what you are? So beautiful. Sentence number 4. A while I work with him to serve his purpose for a little bit. Then I lose myself in my identity, capital I identity, and recognize that Christ is but myself. So this is what's happening to me now. I am 17 years into my journey. And this is what's happening. Then I lose myself in my identity as a child of God, my identity as the Christ. And recognize that Christ is but myself, capital S self. The recognition that love is what I am. The recognition that there is nothing that I need to want for. There is a wholeness here that now gets to be extended. I get to share. I get to use my hands. I get to use my eyes to see beauty, to see everything as a call for love, because that's what my ears are hearing. I get to extend with my compassion, my kindness. What I have discovered is the truth of who I am, because to not be what I am, to not be exactly the identity that God gave me, is too uncomfortable. Now, it took me a very long time to release my ideas of who I was, to release my desire to acquire and become, to do these things because of what I was getting. I was going to become a New York Times bestseller with the best spiritual book ever written, blah, blah, blah. And then God said, no, girl, you got a lot more work to do. And he gave me a son that was on the verge of suicide. He's going to kill himself with drugs so that I could learn to surrender. And then he gave me God kept sending me teachers, gave me a husband, that beautiful, amazing man who came to show me that my ego got spiritualized, that I knew spirituality in my head, but I wasn't living it because I was judging him from my spiritual pedestal. And then came the loss of everything material, so that I could see that I wasn't my stuff. It untethered me. It untethered me from things that I had believed kept me safe, made me somebody. And then all I had was this body vessel. And I had to use all of it, my eyes, my hands, my feet, to show the world what I really am, my true identity, capital I identity. Have I perfected that? No, not yet. It's going to take me at least the rest of this lifetime, the next 50 years that I'm here, to be that consistently. And if that's what I spend the rest of my life doing, just being in alignment with my truth, that's okay. It'll have been a wonderful 50 years. It will be a wonderful 50 years. But I have to lose myself. Let go of who Laina is according to the world, according to what my parents taught me, according to who I thought I needed to be, so I could do what I needed to do and I have what I needed to have to be happy. And just content myself with just being the presence of love, doing what God wants me to do. There's nothing more fun, and there's nothing easier for me to be now. And nothing more fulfilling than for me to accept that Christ is but myself, and I am the second coming of that Christ. Because if Christ could walk on this planet and be such a loving, gentle soul, so can I. Thank you.